are we, like 8,000 members, give or take there, of team members. And our purpose there is to keep you in the know, to make sure you've got all things doTERRA in front of you and you know exactly what's happening, as well as we provide some wonderful calls each week. So you'll see the document to your left posted there to share with you what's happening. So 10 a.m. every Monday, we talk product, 11, we talk business. And on Tuesdays, we do really a private group mentoring session called Power Hour. And I just have to tell you, the Tuesdays are some of my favorite days of the week because what happens during our Power Hour is profound. So you'll have to check out how to join that group. And then Wednesdays, we always make sure you know how to use Enroll Pro successfully in your business. And then of course we have our website where we archive all this yummy stuff, along with on our Facebook pages, we archive the 2 Monday shows. So that's all there for you to help you be better at what you're doing and help your people do the same. All right, well, let's jump in to our summit summary. And again, just a little like heads up. I'm at like 180 slides. There's no way I can possibly get through all of this. And I don't want to like bore you, and I want to keep your attention and move through as much content as possible. This is also not my presentation. I didn't build these slides. I took pictures of them feverishly. So you can imagine trying to keep up with every presenter because it was a live event online and snap all those screenshots and keep up with them, which was sometimes difficult, and pay attention was no small feat. So I'm going to do my very best, but if you find me pausing because I need to read a slide and then explain it, hopefully most of it is relatively self-explanatory. My goal is to flash in front of you like the big news for capping the end of the year and going into next year, and putting you in the know in the things that they're teaching us as top leaders so we can move forward with our businesses with excellence. So put your seatbelt on, here we go. Okay, one of our first presenters, or our first presenter during our summit, was Emily Wright, so the Vice President of US Sales. And she gave us kind of a State of a Union speech that went over a myriad of topics. You're going to see she covered a lot of ground. And so again, this is going to be very much a picture show and a stat show. So pay close attention. And once again, I'll do my best to explain it. So first of all, she was showing us enrollments, and that this has been cumulative. And so she's just showing us total enrollments over time, right? Again, this is cumulative, and just showing that we're still growing as a company and we're still enrolling, and we're enrolling magnificently, actually. So she also was talking to us about market penetration. One of the things they're always presenting to us at the summit, and you're going to see this not only with Emily, but also with the things I'll share with you that Drew Wolfert presented, is helping us see how much potential we have. So again, what do I want you to get out of this? I want you to pay attention to potential, that there are pockets of potential all over the world to share doTERRA. And so what they're showing us here is US penetration in 2019. You know, where were we present? You know, the states that were the biggest were like Utah at 4.8%, or Alaska at 4.3%, or Hawaii at nearly 4%. But look at so many of the other states are under 2%. Like, and there's some that strike you as like, wow, we're almost 4% in Montana. You know, what's happening in Montana? And then, you know, we've got a Blue Diamond in South Dakota, who that was one of our biggest growth states in the last year. I remember in 2019 hearing that about 2018. And, you know, she's led the cause along with her great leadership squadron for 2.4% saturation in South Dakota, of all places. So that's exemplifying leadership, right? So when you see these great pockets of production, you know, Wyoming, again, at almost 4%, these are exciting numbers. And then we also have places where population is outrageously large. And so there's still like so much room, like look at California. So then she showed us the change in 2020. So now that we've pointed some of that, you can see Alaska grew, Hawaii grew, Utah grew, California grew slightly. I don't know, maybe California's distracted right now. I'd probably be distracted if I lived there. We see Montana grew, Wyoming grew, sure enough, South Dakota grew, and we've got arrows. The arrows are literally showing us which states of the union grew. There's only 5 that are grayed out that didn't grow. So hey, if you live in Oklahoma, let's bring it, right? There's opportunity, or Louisiana, for example. So just so fun to see we are growing. This is in a pandemic year and we are growing. It's fantastic. And then she's just showing us here, and Drew will dive into this. And again, forgive some of the pictures. Again, I'm on a screen, taking screenshots, so they're not perfect. I don't have original slides. Emily was just showing us what age groups where they're seeing US growth. And this is important. And again, you're going to see Drew unpack this for us. But particularly, we're growing in the millennial age group, 25 to 34-year-olds. Particularly, we're growing with Asian Americans and Hispanics and Latino, and this is US focused. Okay, the next thing she showed us was in regards to rank advancement. So year over year, we saw 18% growth in ranks globally. Okay, so this is not US specific, but that's exciting. So not only are we growing in enrollments, and we're growing in literal percentage of population saturation, but we're also growing in rank. That's very exciting. The other thing Emily spoke to was all of these programs, Diamond Club, Founders 2.0, Silver Club, Incentive Trip, all have really significant participation. So going into those specifically with Diamond Club and Silver Club, there's been 14 seasons of Diamond Club, because we've averaged, 2 a year for a lot of years. It's happening in 19 markets, only 8 the year before. The number of participants this year is up to 10,000 between these two programs, where we were at 1,000 just last year. Between all the participants, there was a total of 127,000 events that took place, because again, they're tracking them in Diamond Club and Silver Club. And in that group, they created 236,000 enrollments. And the average PV per month of those enrollments is 81 per month. That's a huge change over 7 per month. Okay, that's a really big change. So people are doing a lot of things right. And this is a 10 times increase year over year. And it's now happening in 21 languages, which as just the year before, we were in 5 languages. Now, when it comes to Founders 2.0, this is where we're having the next $1 billion worth of business in the US. There's a new group of founders that get to participate in the pot of benefits that are being made available there. And as a US founder for what we call Founders 1.0, who helped build this company to 1 billion, I'm very excited for people who are participating in this. And I know some people are participating in it with absolute commitment. So when it comes to the Founders Club, there's an actual website. If you don't know this, doTERRA, that was one of the things IT reported to us, which was about these wonderful websites that they've created, where you can go on these portals where you can track your Diamond Club, Silver Club, or Founders 2.0 participation. And of course, that really helps to capture the stats, not only individually, but also for the company. So over 30,000 visits to the Founders Club website. That group combined had 100,000 enrollments. Now, do you think there's any overlap with Silver Club or Diamond Club? Yes, I'm sure there is some overlap, but just helping you see where those are occurring. The average PV is 25. I think that means, I don't know if that means 25 million. Maybe I'm reading that wrong. Maybe I read that last slide wrong. Yeah, 81 million in PV created versus 7 million. And then here, 25 million PV. That's pretty significant. And then 250 PV per enrollment average. That's huge. Okay, that means people are doing some things right with closing. The incentive trip, I don't know what the time frame is for this reporting. I don't know if it's cumulative. I'm thinking so, because they're not that big of an event when you actually go. But people participating, again, I don't know what the time frame is. Does it say up in the corner and I'm blocking it? I don't know if this is like what happened this year just for getting people qualified, but 48,000 participated. They generated 119,000 new enrollments. There were 24,000 new builders who participated, and 74,000 of the enrollments were from new builders. And the average PV per order, the total LRP orders that came out of this was 180,000. I mean, like I said, these are not my slides. I didn't get everything down, but it still looks really good, right? The whole point is things are happening. So of course, Emily reported on pandemic pivots and how quickly, in March and April, the company needed to pivot to having 75% of their employees working remotely until September. That's huge. Now, moving on to the next topic, the amount of convention tickets that were sold this year, because it was virtual. Like, we were typically averaging 34,000 tickets and then maybe another 10, 20, 30 for virtual people who are watching like on demand and stuff. This year, 81,500 tickets were sold and 67,000 convention kits. Now, think about that, like husband and wife, 2 tickets, 1 kit per household. And we averaged more than 1 kit potentially, or at least a kit per household. It was a great kit. Loved the new oils and loved the new wellness journeys. So top 20 countries for doTERRA in videos viewed. This is fun. So look at our video traffic. This is amazing. So in the US, nearly 1.8 million videos viewed about doTERRA. And you know, nobody else is even in the same ballpark as the US, but this is great. So using videos in our business is profound. And you know, it probably depends on the habits in a country. Like I got to hang out with a bunch of leaders from Mexico and be in their presence during the summit time. And boy, did I learn a lot from them. So impressed. And you know, by numbers, they're so much smaller than we are in the US, but they are doing profound work. We'll have to talk about some things I learned there on another call. This is impressive. So we launched these wellness programs or wellness journeys, and there's 90 days worth of products, right? So there's 3 kits in each of these lanes. There's 3 immunity kits, 3 mind and mood, 3 relief kits. You pick a lane and you get going. And of these kits, and again, I don't know how this is totaled, 338,550 of these kits sold. And these just launched, when was it, November 1st? I mean, wow. Is that right, Megan, or was it October 1st? How come Allison can't remember? Whatever the time frame is, it's only been a couple months, and that's a profound. I mean, if we're paying attention as leaders and builders as to what's working, these are working clearly. Okay, as far as online training goes, and it was fun to listen to Emily talk about this. Like now we've offered this incredible essential oil specialist certification. 37,000 people love that. They've shown interest, they've enrolled in that. And of course, there's a cost involved. So people are willing to make an investment, a very reasonable cost, but people are making an investment. And nearly 21,000 people have actually completed that training. Now, mind you, the one that's being sponsored by doTERRA specifically is an entry-level certification course. And then there's 2 others that you can go that are done through a 4-year university here in Utah, where you can get 2 other levels of certification. And they're all amazing. There's our social media academy to help people understand how to work online. Again, you can see your enrollments there. And then we have our sales course, which has been radically successful, going through the sales guide. And that was launched a year ago at convention on our Success Summit Day in 2019. And you can see it's had much, much traction since then. Our essential oil specialist certification, don't quote me, but didn't that come out in like, was it January or was it leadership? Just so you can see the level of interest. Really, really great. This is fun. This is doTERRA, not a great picture, but you get the idea. These are 3 different awards that doTERRA received for packaging. So you can see our Precious Petals Mother's Day kit, one of our diffusers, and our Yarrow Plum collection. These all received design awards. Now, this is cool. doTERRA has reached 1 million followers on Instagram. And as far as our pages, 805 million pages. We get page views worldwide of doTERRA, the site. This is doTERRA.com. And then just in the US and Canada, there's been 519 million page views. Visitors worldwide, 139 million. And visitors, and I think this means like they came to the site and then how many pages did they view? Right? So if there's 139 million visitors worldwide, or 76 million in the US, the page views, that number of users are looking at that number of pages, which is really interesting. So if you look at US and Canada, that means the average person is maybe viewing about 5 or 6 pages, okay, within the site. I think our site, just speaking from a leadership perspective, is terrifically underutilized in a lot of ways. And so I know in my training and different things I'm doing, I'm always trying to point people to different pages that they can go to and benefit from on our site. So looking ahead, again, from Emily to massive momentum in 2021, we're looking at products. Truly, we know that the best opportunity. And if you don't know that already, you need to speak to some people who understand that, because that is not a false claim. That is a super legit claim that we really are the best opportunity like this on the planet. And we do have the best people. I mean, honestly, just being around doTERRA people last week, excuse me, I live with family. I have a wonderful husband. I have a married daughter who has 2 children. They all 4 live with us, and a 23-year-old daughter who came home when the college thing got weird. And so we have a pretty busy household. And then we also, one of our other daughters works for us full time. And she has an office here as well with us. And so, and then people are coming and going for different reasons for service providers or whatever, as works in a pandemic year. But very little interactions with our team. I mean, tons on Zoom, but in person, so little. And our state did allow for a business gathering. And so we were able to create a mastermind with some of us local people here in Utah. And I'm just telling you, my gosh, I had no idea how bad I needed to be around people. Because again, I thought I'm around people often enough, but it was so wonderful to be around people who love doTERRA and care about doTERRA. And so let's continue to find ways that are acceptable and fit the parameters we've been given, but let's work those parameters. Let's really, if you're feeling well and healthy and protected, I mean, this is not for everyone, but this is for those who feel like, interactions are a priority for you and you want to make those. Let's find ways to create more of that, because truly we are changing the world one drop, one person, and one community at a time. All right, so since February, this takes us into some things we need to understand, that 2.2 million women have left the workforce. Why? They had to go home and take care of their kids. They needed to go home and homeschool their kids. Their kids weren't in school. So, hire a babysitter to raise your children or be there with them. So radical impact on the workplace this year, and a radical impact on the home. Like, that's going to seriously change home dynamics. So what does that mean for us? Well, it's a wonderful time for us to invite those women to find an opportunity where they can still bring income into their household. That's probably why they had that job in the first place, as well as be a total wonderful home for community and personal development, and most of all, being a part of a really, really wonderful cause. So there's great opportunity there. This next quote, I'm going to have to read it because I don't remember it. Social media's algorithms are bombarding us with information confirming our views, reinforcing our biases, entrenching many of us so far into absolutism, should put my glasses on, that compromise has become a dirty word. Wow, that's like a serious quote to unpack. In other words, social media is serving some interesting processes. Some are healthy, some are not. Some are greatly impacting the condition of our world. And so that takes us to Dave Sterling. And Dave spoke specifically to this particular process. That quote came from his presentation. And Dave was really, it was a dad moment, like dad talking to us about how can we choose to stay above that fray? How can we be for unity instead of for division? And it was a very heartfelt talk. He told a story of, what was it called? Kind of a Christmas miracle story. I think it was World War II. And there were fighting parties, I believe it was, and again, don't quote me, the English, the French, and the Germans were fighting against each other. And somehow they called a truce. And it was Christmas time, and they decided, we're laying down our weapons, we're not fighting with each other. And they literally came together for a totally, talk about anti-war, talk about unification, talking about finding common ground and finding ways to connect versus to differ. It was a story that touched him very, very deeply. And he wanted to bring that energy to us. Like, how in doTERRA can we be the same way? How can we be the kind of people who lay down the weapons and instead look to what do we have in common and what causes can we fight for together, like health, for example, and wealth, for example. Do you know what the pandemic is doing? It's literally attempting to annihilate the middle class. That's not healthy. America is the guts and the heart and the soul of America is its middle class. And so anything that attempts to annihilate the middle class, we should all feel like we're at war with whatever that is. Maybe that's not the best word, but we need to protect ourselves. We need to rise to the occasion that free commerce and exchange of value is the life blood of the middle class, and we need to protect that. And so our business is all about that. We're all about empowering a middle class. And it's such a good work that we're about. So just one slide on Dave, because most of it was storytelling. And again, I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the story with exactness, but I do think the point was well made. In fact, the thing he told us in the story is, of course, the army uppers of all the countries were just up in arms. Like, they just couldn't believe that they had been betrayed. Their war efforts had been betrayed by these armies in these locales, and they were just like furious with them. Do you know they had to remove every single person who was there and put them somewhere else during the war to get the war going again, because those people refused to continue in war in that area because they had befriended those people. And I think that's the takeaway, is let's get to the point where we've befriended and we love and we care to the point where we refuse to be at war. So he gave us a challenge. Dave gave us a challenge. The first one was never make social media posts that would be harmful to others. Number 2, make friends. This is a great challenge. Make friends with 3 people who you profoundly disagree with. I mean, didn't they profoundly disagree with each other in war? And 3, make doTERRA a safe haven of trust and hope. And then he invited us to be a speaker of peace. Beautiful, beautiful conversation there. Megan, I'm just rolling through like yards of content here. I see the chat flash every once in a while, and I love that chat.
We're on the chat.
Okay, so yeah, if there's anything that you need to pause me on, you have my permission. Now, I moved this content. Did I forget this slide? Let me go make sure, because I have so much content.
Laura, while you're checking that, the question did come in about just how can you get connected with doTERRA courses and trainings. And so I popped the link there in the chat, and it's training.doterra.com. So that's where all of their courses, whether it's their EO course or their sales guide course, they're all in one spot.
Okay, well, I totally moved all these slides. And then they're still here. I erased them and everything. Let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I think I have them all down here. I want them in a different location because 1, 2, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so I'm going to go erase this part out of my deck, because again, we only have so much time, and I am prioritizing what we speak about in what order. And if we need to, we can do this again. Okay, there we go. All right, back at it. Thank you for that commercial interruption. And here we go. Okay, so not in order, but maybe in order of importance to you, is doTERRA did introduce, and we did get permission. Like, are we allowed to let the cat out of the bag? And we got a yes. So here we are. And that is, we got new products. So Alex DeBell is one of the top. So if it comes to oil blending, Nicole Stevens is over that. If it comes to a supplement or some other product, Alex is over this department. So actually, oh my gosh, what is happening with my deck? Because that is Andrew O'Hare's slide. That is not.
Laura, that slide was included in both. I think he circled back to that.
Oh, okay, thank you. Because I was like, wait, I don't remember Alex speaking to that. Yeah. Okay, no worries. I just want to make sure I keep it relevant here. Okay, yeah. So let me get back on Zoom. Okay, so just, yeah, to give it context, I think that's probably, if Alex was using this, it was context to just talk about our major product categories. Obviously, essential oils, hello, number one. And then we have these targeted solutions like our families, our Breathe family, our DigestZen family, our Deep Blue family, and of course, our On Guard family. So we have a lot going on there. And then we have lifestyle. And here, that's like all of our home products, things like that. And of course, solutions, I don't know why they didn't put LLV there, but of course, LLV, DigestZen, or TerraZyme, things would fall into that one. Then we have our lifestyle products, like our cleaning products, all that. And then we have LTOs and kits, and then we have diffusers and accessories. So they're just showing us the breadth of our product line, okay? Now, this is why, answered my own question. Again, I don't remember all this, but then they brought in a particular category of superfoods and supplements that you can see is branching into, combining essential oils and solutions. And this is the foundation, this is their language, the foundation of our wellness ecosystem, foundational habits for empowered natural wellness. And, this is like a huge part of the crux of our business, a huge part of the messaging that we're all putting out there. So they did refer us back to our wellness pyramid. Now, nobody said it out loud, so I can only guess, or if they did, I missed it. And they were showing the pyramid, not saying eat right anymore, but saying foundational nutrition. So, I mean, everything else is like something you do kind of a thing. So I'm not sure where this is going, but the products are most especially focused on this being a more solid nutritional foundation, even than we've already had. And we've already had a great one. So we're talking about these supplements are focused on everyone every day. This is a really big part. If you've ever listened to me teach an intro class, I'm all about the daily habits. I'm all about the habits because I'm a wellness practitioner, right? I ran a wellness center. I owned it for 18 and a half years. I worked in it full time with a hearty practice of coaching people for, 15 years. Of those 18 years, I worked there seeing clients on a daily basis. And I'm here to tell you, daily matters. It's not like if it ain't broke, don't fix it and wait till the ambulance falls off the cliff and goes to the bottom to do something about it. That is not what makes for well-being. That's just symptom management. So I'm thrilled that we in doTERRA are based on truth. So the wellness pyramid means so much to me that we're based on truth. Now, I've recruited different people in my doTERRA career, some of whom who are like super health-minded. And when you recruit a health-minded person, if they don't see some basis of truth, they do question it. They're not looking for flash in the pan, woo woo wah wah, over emphasized products that are symptom managers, because anybody who knows anything about the body knows if you don't have basic nutrition, then you're missing, you got a big hole in the middle of your existence. So not to camp here too long, but I just want to preach here a little bit that this is profound. This is vital, that we're the kind of company that bases ourselves on the truths of nutrition. So he went in to teach us about lifestyle, right? And that I don't really know for sure what he was saying here. I'm not sure what he was insinuating with pathogenic. I missed this. So I'm going to have to make it up. Let me see if I can make this up. So living longer is great. Living longer while being healthy is even better. Yeah, amen. Agree. Right? So again, it's about well-being. It's not just about being symptomless. It's about living actually well. So that's why I've always used the tagline, live well with Laura. So lifestyle, of course, has a big impact. Being exposed to pathogens has a big impact. So let's cut to the chase here and let's talk about what doTERRA has added to our product family. And we have new protein. Now, the idea is that our Slim and Sassy, I believe, our trim shake will be going away. I didn't hear anybody say when or how. I just heard that said. And what's the difference? Grams of protein, right? So with the keto movement and the really first paleo and then keto being so big, the amount of grams of protein, that we had in a trim shake versus the amount of protein versus carbs, right? You really have to look at that protein carb ratio, is going to be radically different. So what's not different is 3 protein powders, one's vanilla, one's chocolate. Those 2 contain very, very clean whey protein, because a lot of people like whey protein. When I asked doTERRA about where they were going with this, they said there's still a radically huge demand in the marketplace for clean whey products. So the 2 you see on your right, the vanilla and the chocolate, are exactly that. And for those of us like myself who are more vegan minded and prefer plant-based proteins, then we have the one on the left. So all of us get our needs and desires met. What you see here is unpacking. So an actual snapshot. They gave us sample packets, not in the true packaging, which you saw in the picture, but we also got papers. So we scanned it to show you the label. And you can see here, right, when you're looking at the content, 21 grams of protein and only 10 grams of carbs. So if you go compare that to our older products, and then really, really importantly, this is huge, people. This is huge. 7 grams of fiber. That's epic. And then the amount of sugars, 0. So very keto friendly, very blood sugar health conscientious. So just a real swing in all that's gone on in the marketplace and all the things that are being asked for there. Of course, this is going to be great in a smoothie, and it's designed to do a few things. This is the plant-based one. It's designed to be gluten-free, naturally sweetened, support muscle growth, satisfy hunger. So it's really about satiation. It's recommended it could be mixed with like coconut water, coconut milk, rice, almond milk, whatever you like to do, plus your fruits and veggies, your greens, things like that. And the sweetener, let's see if we can read this here, and it's got flaxseed in it, which is lovely. Where the heck's the sweetener? I want to say it's stevia. Yeah, right there, stevia. Okay, so naturally sweetened. The vanilla one, once again, let's just unpack it here. What do we have? We have, again, 21 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar, 7 grams of fiber, and only 10 grams of carbs, right? So just super, super friendly. This is whey from pasture-fed cows, so really clean whey, gluten-free, naturally sweetened. Again, muscle growth, satisfy hunger, satiation, same drill, right? And then you can add, this one's designed more to be added with either water, and again, I like coconut water because you get a lot of electrolytes from that, or some choice of milk, same kind of milk choices. It's not dairy free, so then, whatever for people who consume that. And then again, the chocolate, it's going to be the same deal, right? Just got chocolate. It's going to be lovely. All right. And then, yes, they're going to replace Terra Greens. I thought Terra Greens was amazing, but as my family would say, I'll eat just about anything. I'm pretty tough when it comes to taste buds. But apparently that wasn't true for everyone. And so they went back to the drawing board and they reinvented our grain products. So here's what you have here. You've got a green blend, a superfood blend, a fruit blend, and a CPTG essential oil blend. So very unique, very doTERRAized, beautiful, beautiful blends. And of course, ideally, you are mixing this potentially, if you want the protein, right? Everybody wants a protein drink. There's different schools of thought there, but for those who do, then of course, adding this, you're talking about like we can't actually call it meal replacement, but certainly a great offering, right? Super, super great. So really love that. And what are the points here? Support digestive and immune health, gluten-free, provides body with essential nutrients, gives a massive boost of intake on fruits and veggies, and includes lovely essential oils that really help with digestion, right? So lemon and ginger, which is going to add some really nice flavor. I'm like a lemon ginger fanatic, so I couldn't be happier. And yes, standing ovation. Dun, da, 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 we finally have our own fiber. I feel like I've waited a decade or more for this product. Super excited. Key things about it is the source of the fiber is really nice and diverse because you've got apple, you got tapioca, which is also cassava, which has become very popular, and then flaxseed. So 3 different types of sources. It has a prebiotic blend. What does that mean? It means it feeds probiotics. You have to provide food for your friendly bacteria in order for them to thrive. So this fiber blend is going to feed those particular wonderful microorganisms. Oh my gosh, we've come so far in our understanding of the microbiome. It's so funny to look back. They used to think all bacteria was bad. They didn't know we had good bacteria. We've learned so much about gut health and the whole ecosystem inside the body, the internal terrain known as the microbiome. And so I'm just thrilled that we have something to work with in this regard. The key points, again, are gluten-free, 6 grams of fiber, a prebiotic boost, and again, some essential oils in there. So here's your sources of fiber listed here. So really, really excited to finally have a fiber. I'm really big on our Cleanse and Restore Detox program. And anytime you're working bowels and just every day, I don't know, do you know the stats on colon cancer and looking at the amount of fiber people have in their diet versus who don't? It's like radical. So adding fiber to your diet, and again, not making any claims, I'm just saying go study the research, go see the numbers of how radical just any fiber in the diet can be. So look at the amount you'd be getting if you mixed all 3 of these products into one drink, which, hey, that sounds really like simple, right? Just throw them all in one blender with a bunch of fresh fruits and vegetables and some coconut water. And you're walking out of there with 13 grams of fiber in your belly. That's going to be profound. Or maybe split it up, depending on what your bowels can handle. Okay, next topic for us, and we're pacing well here. I think we should be able to get through maybe 2 more of the topics that were explained, maybe 3, we'll see how fast I can be, is upcoming events and what's happening there. So in 2021, this is very important. So we circled this to remind you that on January 5th, there will be a leader Zoom event where doTERRA is going to go through those 3 new products that I just explained, the protein, the greens, and the fiber, and they're going to launch. So the first launch is for us, leaders, people who are out there sharing, and the second event on January 7th, and we don't have the details yet, but we do have the dates, and they said set aside the dates, right? And so they're just telling us that the public launch for these new products is on January 7th. So write those 2 things on your calendar, January 5th, January 7th. I think you'd think they'd be at night, but I don't know, don't quote me. Okay, incentive trip is coming up and registration for that. Megan, what's the parameters? So it's February 8th through the 12th. So now is the time to be registering. What's the parameters on the registration and the timing to get registered? Can you help us know those details?
I'll pop the link into the chats. I know that there's a couple of different layers for those that qualify versus buy-in. So I'll pop that in there. And then the question about, can people order the products, the new products on the January 7th date? Did they say anything about that, Laura, specifically?
Nope. All they said is they will be talking about it then. So I would imagine if I'm doTERRA, the first day I'm going to make them for sale is January 7th. That's what I suspect, right? They're talking about it and then they're going to open them up for sale. And I showed you everything I know. I showed you the labels. That's all I know. I know nothing else. So as far as some of the other questions that are in there, I don't know. I wish I could tell you, but we'll all learn that together. Okay, so leadership is coming up. Registration is live. Megan will post the link in our chat. And then again, I suspect new products will be live that very day. And then leadership retreat, you know, doTERRA is just holding their breath and crossing their fingers that we're going to have an actual live retreat right now. They're set to have it in Tennessee and Nashville, I believe at the Gaylord or the Grand Ole Opry. Which one is it, Megan? Oh my gosh.
It's at the Gaylord, yeah.
It's the Gaylord. Okay.
It's set there for right now.
I've been there multiple times and it's like, yes, it's for the Gaylord.
Beautiful,
March 1st
yeah.
to 3rd. It's for silvers and above. I appreciate that question from Kimmy. It is for silvers and above.
And Laura, I don't know if Kim might be referring to the January 5th Zoom leader link or leader event. I believe that is also for silvers and above, but we will post all of the details on the Facebook page. We're waiting for the nitty gritty logistics as well.
Yeah, just know that what you see is what you get. That's about what we know. Because they were, I mean, this was almost, with the exception of Emily and Dave, pretty much everything else I'm showing you happened the second day, and it was just a whirlwind. Like I said, I was cramming just to get all these pictures in for you. Now, this is all, okay. I'm not going to go into all this because I don't really understand this super well in depth, but here's what came up in this conversation. I feel like this showed up in the middle of the event slides. Somehow I feel like we just,
it was announced during events.
We just changed speakers and topics, but I feel like there were more event slides, but maybe not, maybe we're done. So this is a new, it's a new type of event that is for diamond leaders and above. So it's leader-led, corporate supported. And the idea is that doTERRA will support diamonds in hosting education, and they've got some perks to help with that. And they want to strengthen connections. They want to help us facilitate enrollment opportunities. They want to provide us with sampling experiences where people can come and experience. They want to help us educate on our new wellness programs, and they want to help us create a more party-like experience. Okay, so then our targeted audience, first of all, would be prospective members, secondarily, wholesale customers and wellness advocates, and tertiary or third would be our advocate sharers and builders. So you can see what's the event designed to be focused on, right? So really we're there as wellness advocates, as support for all the people who are there. We're the ones supposed to be bringing the prospects, but also would be great training for sharers and builders so they learn more about how to do this business successfully. Strategically, it's designed to help build team morale and engagement. It's to help us recognize individual accomplishments as we reward top enrollers, and to focus on personal needs or the opportunity.
Laura, it looks like the overview slide got bumped down just a couple slides.
Is that my problem? I thought we
Scroll
just
forward.
sort of jumped into it in the middle of it. So let me see if I can find that real quick. Which slide number is it, Megan? 53? Or if it's
On
49?
mine, it's about
Is it 49?
67. I'm in the 60s, so
Okay.
they have flipped some stuff, but it should just be a couple after that. It's a blue slide.
Yes, I think they're in the 50s on my deck. Not sure where our deck isn't the same. Like, is it the one titled Our Approach, Spring Tour Highlights, Events 2021?
Yeah.
Yeah, this thing
Our
got
approach
all,
and how we'll partner
this
with
thing
you.
got all fractured. I'm like, wait, something's not right. Okay.
Just to give a little context to everyone, there's about 178 slides. So that is what we are sorting through.
Okay, so yeah, there are a bunch of event slides that got moved. That I knew it. I'm like, I know there's more event slides. Okay, let me go back where we left off. And let's see what happened here. There might be some reruns, but I'm trying to keep this in a particular order for you. Okay, so let's go back here, hoping I have a good order. Okay, so we were here. We talked about this. Then yes, now. Okay, post-convention tour. Next year is set for, I probably have the convention slide now in the wrong place. Post-convention tour is set for next October, November, as always for US and Canada. So just showing monthly, it's like a calendar. October, post-convention tour. November, post-convention tour. And they're really hoping to bring back to life the co-impact sourcing trips. Like, I know I'd like to go on another one. And then the Presidential Blue Diamond Summit, that's something to shoot for, to qualify for next year on December 6th, that week. And then working backwards. Oh gosh, this is a mess. Going back to April of 2021, they've got a spring tour coming, April and May. And then in June, they're really shooting for Prime Wellness Club to Bulgaria. That's gotten delayed now a couple times because of COVID. And then our presidential trip this year got canceled altogether. So it's rescheduled for next year. We'll be heading to Oman and Jordan in June. And then now we're staying in order. July, August, September, there's a diamond retreat. Oh my gosh, seriously, be a diamond and come to everything. Like, come to the summit, come to the presidential trip, be a diamond and come to the retreat. They had it not this year, but the year before. And it was so fun. It was one of the highlights of the year. Like, I loved it. So qualify for that. And then Diamond Club trips, Oregon and Canada, those are to be announced, looking about next August. And then here's our convention slide, September 7th through the 11th in Salt Lake City. So be sure to put that on your calendar. And Megan can help us post some of these for you. Now we're diving into the spring tour. And again, this is what we jumped into the middle of. These are these Diamond Leader-led events. They'll be held between March 22nd and May 26th. They're designed to be 1 hour, no tech options. You don't need any technology, so they could happen anywhere. The leader's role is to get the place, promote the event, get people registered, sharing the cost of some party packs, which doTERRA will provide. I'll show you some things in a second. And of course, adhere to local guidelines for private gatherings. Corporate's role will be to provide a host gift pack, offer an enrollment promo, share in the cost of the party packs, have a corporate representative present, wow, and that person will present on the doTERRA difference and on the wellness programs. And then the host gets a host pack, that's what doTERRA is providing. They engage their team members. So again, you can have a leader and a host. There can be 2 people involved here. And then recognize individuals and increase enrollments. Okay, so this seems somewhat redundant. It says all the same thing twice. I'm not going to say that again. And then exclusive benefits. The host pack that the hostess will get will have all these fun things in it. Look at all that cool stuff, like adaptive mist, serenity mist, sanitizing mist, a beautiful touch. Oh, and then actually some signs and some shelves they get to keep, not to mention some really good standards like frankincense and deep blue. The party pack, of course, this is for each attendee to be able to have this. So they'll have 3 sachets of LLV, 3 sample oil cards, 2 On Guard wipes, the little packages, 1 tube of On Guard toothpaste, 1 On Guard drop, the ones you throat drops, 1 breathe throat drop type thing, 1 PB Assist Junior sample, so one of those little tubes, and 1 envelope of Deep Blue Rub. How cool is that? And then the enrollment promo, we already know what it is. How many of you love Beautiful as much as I do? Oh my gosh, I love Beautiful. So Beautiful Touch goes to the enroller and the enrollee, woohoo, if they enroll at the event. Okay, I already told you the objective. I told you the focus, the approach. This is redundant. It's already on our slide. And then they showed us some pictures of what this stuff looks like. So again, so people would get 1 throat drop here, 2 of these sanitizers, 1 toothpaste tube, 1 drop here, 1 packet here, 3 Lifelong Vitality, 1 tube here, right? So that shows you. So not the big containers, but the little guys. This is the Hostess gift package. Did you see the diffuser on there? Did it really say a diffuser? Do they get a diffuser? Let's go back and check that out. I don't see a diffuser on there. Do you? Yes, a Rome diffuser. Whoa, holy cow. Sign me up, right? So very great Hostess gift package. And then these are the signs. So you get the person actually running the event gets the beautiful sign and these beautiful shelves. So this is, again, no technology required, super hands-on, pass this stuff around, very experiential. So that'll be really fun. All right, how are we doing time-wise? Okay, I think I can get through at least Drew. Drew's point, he cranked through this PowerPoint. The point is well taken. And so get the point. The point is, back to Emily's thing, I told you that Drew would unpack this more, is the potential. Drew is saying there is potential. So let's see what that looks like. So first of all, he went into examining the market growth globally. So this has to do with the aromatherapy and the essential oil market. Okay, so worldwide, anything that includes global aromatherapy and essential oils we are this portion of that market. So, hey, there's a lot of room to grow there. Now he's going to go through and talk to us about some of these areas. And then it's produced, that was 2019, right? We don't have 2020 numbers yet, but look at where the market is projected to go. Whoa, from 7.8 billion to 18.7 billion. So even if we just stay in our same share and nothing else changes, think about, we get that slice of the pie of not 7.8 billion, but 18.7 billion, right? So it's a little less than 25% of the market. So that would make, we're currently about a $3 billion company. And remember, is this just US? I don't even know what this is. I know it says it's global. Okay, I don't know how to explain all the numbers, but you get the gist, right? What's happening? So then Drew was talking to us about the fact that a company goes through stages. Now, these slides are out of order. Let's go here. So the first one he showed us, no, that's not true. Okay, so let's go to this one. That's Drew, by the way. He is right under Corey Lindley when it comes to financial operations for doTERRA. And Drew has been with doTERRA since its inception. And he is Mark Wolfert's son. So here's his slide, up close and personal, and he is showing the stages or cycles a business typically goes through, right? So in its first 4 years, its launch phase, a lot of companies die right here. They really struggle. And so this shows your typical company, and there's this phase of hyper growth. We definitely had that. Then they kind of settle into maturity and either figure out how to return to more growth or decline. So, typical lifespan of a company. So this is doTERRA's lifespan. We had hit somewhat of a maturity stage. 2019 wasn't our best year. That dip you see there is 2018 going into 2019, but look at where we are. So the cool thing is we've clearly done the return to growth pattern, and things are going really, really right at doTERRA for a whole lot of reasons, many of which you've already heard. So then he was talking to us about our growth since the Great Recession, because we started in a recession, right? So clear back here in 2008. Let me see if I have this in big. No, I don't. Sometimes I didn't blow it up. Clear back here in 2008 when we began, look at where we are today. And we are clearly a recession-proof company because look at our growth. It's like outstanding, remarkable. So now where are we seeing growth? I told you Emily had the same slide, and this is Drew's slide. And so we're seeing our biggest amounts of growth in these areas, okay? A younger age group, Asian Americans, and Hispanics and Latinos. So first thing he did was he talked to us about the unemployment rates right now. This is very important. Now, this is by age. So now he's taking each of those groups and he's unpacking them for us and looking at them by way of opportunity. Again, you're supposed to see opportunity in his presentation. So these are age groups. 25 to 34 is the dark. 35 to 30, I think that's a typo. That's supposed to be 44. Okay, so 35 to 44 and then 45 to 54. I guess I don't count. If you're over 54, too bad. Okay, so what are we seeing? All right, so unemployment rates. How do we read this? Okay, so 2019, 2020, here's pandemic. Oh my gosh, look what happened in April. Whoa, we shot up from a little over 4% for the highest group all the way to 14%. Holy cow. Now it's coming down by October, but it certainly hasn't corrected. So what that means is between 4 and 6%, we have a lot of people still out of jobs. And it looks like the impact on ages, this is interesting. So in the beginning, the middle group, very interesting. Like, I'm not going to try to like over speculate here, but consistently the youngers are being hit the hardest. The others are having variables there, but very interesting. Okay, so what are they looking for? This particular age group, the youngest of them, the ones who are the most unemployed, what are they looking for? They want to have fun. Okay, they are looking for options. Oh, sorry, I don't know where I got that from. I misread that. They want to have options to work from home in the future. Okay, that's big to them. Number 2, so these are in order of desire. Number 1, they want to work from home. Hello. Number 2, they believe remote working enables them to work better as far as a work-life balance. You know, I look at my son-in-law, who's in accounting, who lives with us, and his work days pre-COVID were an hour commute on each side of his day. And he worked long hours already. So his work day plus a lunch hour, right? So that's 3 extra hours on his day plus the work day itself. His days were 12 hours solid, like 8 to 8 or 7 to 7. He was getting home late. And my daughter, I'm here to tell you, not a quality of life for her. So now he starts work an hour later. He still takes an hour lunch break, but guess what he's doing? He's exercising at home. Right? I see him in his exercise clothes every day, midday. He's going out and he's being active. And then he's home for dinner. Like, he's done working at a normal hour and he is immediately here for dinner. Total quality of life change for them. Okay, after COVID disruption is over, I would like the option to work from a remote location more frequently. Huge yes there. I would prefer, now, not everybody said yes. Some people do not want to work at home. Let's be honest. Okay. Number 4, I would prefer to use video conferencing more in the future instead of traveling for work. I met a guy who traveled like an iconic amount, and he started doing Zoom meetings. And he's like, I have no idea why I went so many places. Like, how many people are flying for a whole day's turn, you know, of getting somewhere and hotel and car and baggage, and then having like a 1 or 2 hour meeting and coming home and like you're eating away from home, you're not exercising. Like, I can speak to that. Like, where you can, like, be ergonomic with your time. My employer trusts me to be productive in a remote working environment and does not feel the need to monitor me too closely. Well, that's really cool. Now, I don't know what the difference is between the 2 colors. I don't know if it's like 2019 and 2020. I can't tell. I can't read the bottom. If anybody else can figure that out, great, but whatever. Next one, if given the opportunity to work remotely in the future, I would choose to live outside of a major city. Oh, that's a big one. Next one, I have felt more able to bring my true self to work since working from home. 50%. My employer has offered training, education, and skills development to enable employees to work remotely more effectively. So really good news there for our business. So for this particular age group, now we're going to look at them as consumers of essential oils. Okay, so the entire US for essential oil consumption, the largest group of people are ages 25 to 34. In the doTERRA population, they're one of our smallest. Okay, so all these people love oils and they're buying someone else's. Okay, huge opportunity here. And even here, like, let me not pass up these 2 age groups. Like, hello, you see all that? And even this group here, look at them, 16%. And we're down here at 1. So we really need to look at who how and who we're reaching. Big opportunity. Now, that was 2019, so pay attention. This is 2020. So what's happening? Consumption has gone up overall in the US for essential oils in the 3 younger age groups. So the people who decided to do it back then are still the people deciding to do it. In doTERRA, we're growing in all age groups. Ironically, we've grown the most with our 55 and older. Well, I think there's reasons for that. But hey, we're doing well. Now, again, the margins look different. It's a little bit tricky to understand the numbers versus the color swatches. We're doing better. We're doing better. But hey, with all the growth that's happening, look how much we captured, look how much somebody else captured. So we can work on that. Okay, so for this age group, what are we looking at here? All of January into February. Oh my gosh, look how much their consumption went up when COVID hit. That's great. That's really great. So overall consumption is up. Okay, Asian unemployment rate specifically. Asian Americans unemployment rate, Q3 for 2019. So that was the summer, late summer, early fall. This was their unemployment rates. Look at, and this is compared to the US population. So compared to the US population, they were more employed in the third quarter of 2019. As of the third quarter of 2020, they have more unemployment than the overall US population. That's epic. And I think there's lots of reasons we could speculate as to why that's the case. Huge opportunity with that market. Now, when it comes to the same demographic, Asian Americans using essential oils, 8.5% of Asian Americans use aromatherapy. In doTERRA, only 2% of our population is Asian American. Huge opportunity. Okay, so right here in 2020, let's see, what am I looking at? That's 2019, 2020, they increased their usage. The overall percentage of population using essential oils in the Asian American market went up 8.5, and so did ours. But this went up more than ours went up. Okay, so again, we're missing out on a population that we're not capturing. Now, let's look at their usage of essential oils. I believe that's what we're looking at here. I don't know if this is doTERRA specific or if it's the overall population, but I'm not really sure what this is representing. Overall, I would say their usage is BOGO-esque or something. I'm not sure. I don't know how to read that, but interesting that it's still somewhat spotty. I mean, like in March, they didn't even spike in March. They spiked in April. So they got the word about essential oils a little bit later. And I don't know what's happening in November, because again, I don't know if this is doTERRA specific. But I would say there, if it is doTERRA specific, like, because look at the difference. Let's go back here. Who's getting the word and who's not? These people got the word big time, March and April. But it took time for these people to get the word. And so I'd look at education there. Okay, Hispanics and Latinos, historically higher levels of unemployment than the US population, and that remains so, but in a greater despairing. So they are some of the more unemployed. And again, we could speculate as to what that means. So 6.5% of the overall aromatherapy using population, excuse me, is Hispanic. In doTERRA, it's 3%. So we're doing better than we are with the Asian American, but still major room for improvement. That was 2019, 2020. The group, okay, let's compare 6.5 to 6.6, 3.0 to 3.4. So we grew faster than the overall marketplace, but again, just so much potential there, so much potential. So this is their overall growth. And again, I think this has got to be doTERRA specific. So all of a sudden a huge spike, like, wow, that's incredible. Huge spike in Latino growth in 2019, 2020, major difference. Okay, key takeaways, 25 to 34-year-olds, 25% growth, largest age group who use or consume essential oils, Asian Americans, 260% growth, 1.6 million potential essential oil customers that we are missing out on, and Hispanics and Latinos, 120% growth, and again, over 1 million there of customers that's potential. So what's this all about? Changing the world, one drop, one person, one community at a time is us focused on, we have the best product, we really do. This looks like Drew's slides all over again, which I don't know why they're in here twice. But we have hit
Well,
our hour.
some of them had the different growth spots highlighted, and then he circled back. So
Okay.
I think that's there
They
were
look
a lot
they
of
look
slides
very
in there.
redundant to me, so I'm gonna just call it good.
Um,
Let's see. The rest of what we aren't gonna have time for today is an IT report, international report,
there
uh,
was the John Jensen portion
yep,
about
social media report. So I'm just gonna quickly do the John Jensen thing. I mean, I kind of hesitate. This is actually, I think I'm gonna wait. It's hard to explain. I don't know that I understand it well enough yet to actually teach it. I'm going to get the gist of it, but next thing I know is there's going to be 100 questions to back it up. Basically, they're easing the load on us on, let me just look at these slides again, account transfers and some other changes.
I would
And
say they're trying to like simplify it and make it more user friendly for
the
everyone
thing about it
involved.
is that it's not, that conversation isn't necessarily relevant to every listener. It's relevant when you're doing an exception or replacement thing. We'll unpack that better. Maybe we could even get John on to explain that to us. Andrew O'Hara went into a whole bunch of things about our branding and our social media presence, gave us a lot of things there. We had Sean Pointer, who talked to us about our supply chain and what that's been like for doTERRA. Tim Valentiner on sourcing, Greg Cook on international growth, and Todd Thompson, who's over IT. So that's everything that's left, which is, I think over half my deck is still left. Like it's a lot. So we want to stick to our time frame and call it good for today. Kind of give us an idea right now if you'd like another conversation where we unpack the rest of it. We tried to choose the highest level content that we felt like was the most relevant to the not everybody is concerned about IT, or not everybody's concerned about international growth. Definitely some people are, but we tried to pick the things that we felt were the most pertinent to all of us and most relevant. Let me know if you'd like either a little video on that, or if you think we should take another Monday call for that. I'm kind of thinking we should do a one-off. I don't want to keep the information from you. I'm just trying to think of the best way to actually put it out there. So give us some thoughts on this thread in Facebook or whatever. Okay, any last questions I can answer for you? I've kind of already disclosed. I told you what I know for the most part. I don't have a whole lot else to add. I hope you found that helpful and interesting and fun to know, get a heads up on things, and to participate in a little bit of the summit stuff. Yeah, I hear you. So yeah, we just got a comment that some conversation on the international stuff would be great. It was really fun to hear. I was very excited about it. Yeah, thank you, Bonnie. Good input. All right, well, we'll figure out how to represent the rest of it for you, even if that includes picking it up on next week's call. And yeah, good. Lots of votes for international. Okay, so we will do another session then. That sounds like that's the vote, Megan. Is next week, let's do part 2 and cover the rest of the bazillion slides that are here. Like a plan.
Sounds great.
Okay, thanks for voting in. That's exactly what I needed from you. Appreciate that immensely. It's always great to spend time with you again. I hope you found this valuable and can get it out to your teams so everybody has an idea of what happens at these summits and can gather that information and help us see our way forward. Mostly what I see is 2021 looks like a huge year of potential and possibilities. And I think 2020, we kind of like, first we were like, huh, what? And then we were like, huh, what? Like shocked. And then maybe sort of grieving what we're losing, finding, focus on our losses and what's not happening in our lives and what we're not very satisfied with. And what I'm hoping is maybe that now that we've gotten over being shocked and maybe even feeling betrayed in some ways and feeling grieving what, I don't know what this new normal thing all means. Like some of us are like, wait, I wasn't looking for a new normal. So grieving what's not happening right now. Let's now move past that. Just like with any shocking and grieving process, traumatic process, there's recovery and then there's time to come back out. Having been, I heard a cute little story about a mom in a dollar store with 2 kids, a younger and an older. She's in line, the younger's crying and throwing a fit, like super tiny kid, just not happy. She's got a package of glow sticks in her hand, and so she hands the little one of them, and suddenly happy. And then the older takes the glow stick from the younger, and of course the younger blows up, and then of course he snapped it and gave it back, and he said, I had to break it in order for you to have an experience. So sometimes we have to be broken to light up. So let's take that as something wonderful in our hearts and how we can move forward, and let's move past our grieving and bring hope to the world, because the world sure needs it. Love you, friends. Thanks so much.